Right here on defense, we get a little lost off the ball here, B. So right now, you're matched up with Caius right here. He catches the ball, you're with him. That's fine, except you're giving him too much space. You're backed up too much. You have to close up this space and get closer to him defensively. Now, once he gets off the ball, this is where you lose sight of him. Now he starts to move up and you don't move and you stay there. So now he's one pass away. King was rotating to his man, which is right here. And then King points for you to go to him. You lose your man for a second, wide open jump shot. So we got to stay engaged. We got to be in the gap. We got to know where our man is. We can't be standing. You got to be focused on defense. B, you're wide open. So at this point, you should see that nobody is in front of you guarding you. You should be yelling for the ball. So when Bryce gets this ball, you're one pass away. He comes out. You should recognize that you're open and nobody's guarding you. You should be screaming for the ball so you can cut right here and get a basket and get a quick shot. So when you see that you're wide open, you got to be aware of the floor. You are still open here too as you're backing up, and that's fine. But you got to be calling for that ball because you're wide open. Okay, right after this shot, I want you guys to see where you're at. Josh is right here. B is right here. They get the ball, and they're going to start taking off down the court, and you two just jog. Josh, this has to be a sprint. B, this has to be a sprint to get ahead of the ball to try to help cut him off. Bryce should be coming over to try to help cut him off as well. And then Josh, you need to be sprinting. Maybe you can come back from behind and tap the ball. But you guys just jog the whole time. That's unacceptable. Sprint the floor in transition defense. Nice move right here, Josh. Way to now take advantage, right? You have a lot of space to go left and to go right, especially right. Nobody's here at all. Either way, you have these gaps to attack because everybody's kind of just staying with their man and they're not in help defense. So good job of being aggressive here, attacking this gap and getting to this floater. A good floater here, way to attack the gap. B, we got to talk about defense here. So right now you're lost a little bit. Finding a man, you have to identify your man right away. This distance is not guarding the ball. You need to get up and close this space and come up to him and guard the ball. That's not defense at all. We got to make sure that we're locked in on defense and able to put pressure on the basketball. We got some press break here. Josh, good pass over to B. B, this should be you coming with the ball. Nobody's in front of you, and this guy's rotated from Bryce to try to come here. You should just be ripping and coming right hand. But you throw the ball back to Bryson, and he's coming out to him. So this should have been you just driving and taking it down because there was nobody there. If you would have drove and take it down, you probably make it about right here. And this guy is probably still about right here. And now you have a 2-on-1 break with Jackson. Now you keep driving. He comes up. You pass to Jackson. He gets a layup. He stays with Jackson. You go all the way to the rim and get a layup. So in that situation, you should have kept that basketball. Right now, Josh is over here and B is over here. B, you're doing a lot of standing on defense and ball watching. Josh's man cuts, so he cuts with him. Now, Jackson is in front, and your man starts to shift over. You should be up there coming with him. The reason why you should not come and help down is because Jackson is in front of him. You just kind of go for the steal when Jackson is still in front of him. There's not any type of advantage for you to help. So now he passes out, and he gets a wide open shot because you went for the gamble. Only help when your teammate gets beat. Once again, B, I want you to watch this. There's a switch here. And Josh is going to come out to him, and he's going to start guarding him. So you're going to see a difference in the level of activity. He's trying to close up the space a little bit, get a little bit closer. When your man catches the ball, look at you. You just stand there. You're not closing up the space. You're not getting closer to him to guard. So that's what I mean by looking at somebody is not playing defense. And then we get the screen and switch here. Here you do better. We get the switch, and you get in the space, and you're all over that person. So that's the better activity. Like if you're going to guard, get up and guard. It looks like right here you guys are running breaker. The ball comes to Josh. He passes to you. He cuts to the basket. Good job of making a good drive here. You're able to get around him. You get in, and you get a quality shot at the rim. Good take. Way to be aggressive. Josh, you got to come in and crash the boards as well. We can't just stand around. Josh, good defense right here on Caius. Way to be up in his space, sliding your feet, cutting them off there with your chest. That's really good defense. Let's look at this action right here. So B, you drive, and when you drive, you draw Josh's man just a little bit. He comes over. So now you pass to Josh. Josh drives, and then he comes back to your side, and then your man's going to rotate over to him. Right now, you're just standing. You need to be shot ready. With your knees bent, ready to catch the ball, showing your hands, you're not shot ready. And Josh right now is yelling to you, shoot the ball. So you need to be ready to shoot. You get off this shot, but be shot ready on the catch, because when your man comes over to Josh like that, and now Josh has two, once he makes his pass to you, you're wide open for the shot. Be ready and prepared to shoot the ball. After this shot, let's look at transition defense. So they got the ball. Kai starts to run out. He's going to start coming down the court. He's going to start coming down the court. Everybody starts moving. So you're right here. You need to get back. Josh tries to guard the ball, and Jackson is trying to point to guard this guy. B, you're still not guarding anybody. We don't know if you're with him. You're just standing in the middle. You need to get back and protect the basket and find a man. Now the ball gets all the way down here, and we give up the layup. So we got to make sure that when we get back on defense, we sprint the floor and we find somebody to guard. Josh, this is better decisive ball handling here. You got them coming up for this trap. You know they want to trap the sideline. You cross over, protect the ball. You draw two. And then you cross back over again. Now you have three people who are occupied with you. And then now he's running out to the ball. Now B, you get in the spot where you become decision maker. When you catch the ball, you got Bryce in the corner. You got yourself right here. You got Jackson right here. And then you got King, who should be coming all the way down here. And this guy is now coming over to guard you. So you guys only have two defenders right here. Now you have two options. When you catch this ball, it's drive up here and shoot the ball right away, or attack the basket and try to get the and one, or attack this gap where he is trying to come from, and you could shoot there and float there. Also, if you drive here in this gap, he may come over to try to stop you. Jackson's right here, bounce pass. Or another option is you drive in, he steps over, and then you float the ball over to Jackson. So you have options here. Like right now, this could be dribbling into a jump shot. This could be passing to Bryce right away, but Bryce has to be looking for the ball. This could be passing over to Jackson over the top. Instead, we dribble into a trap. So when you're in that spot as decision maker, you got to see the floor and attack that actual 3-on-1, 4-on-1 break that we had. B, really quick on free throws. I'm starting to notice this. You're outside when you should be in. Right now, Jackson should be in. But King has no business being in there because you rebound the ball better than him. So anytime you are on the floor, if there are only two guys in here for us to rebound, you should be in there, unless it is Jackson and Ari, or maybe Jackson and Corey, or Ari and Corey, like something like that, because you're one of the better rebounders on the team. Josh, good job here of being a decisive ball handler, putting pressure on the defense, taking care of the ball, driving. You have gaps and he cuts you off. Then you swing it to Bryce. Bryce makes his drive and he splits these two. So once he splits this gap, the person that kind of rotate over is going to be Josh's man 18 or this big right here. And Josh's man is the one that comes. So right now, Bryce draws two. So now Josh is hands ready. Knees are slightly bent. He has his hands out. That way, once the ball comes to him, he's ready to catch and shoot right away. That's what I mean by being shot ready. Good job, Josh. Way to be shot ready. Little detail here, Josh. When you set this screen, make sure you turn from the inside for the ball. So you set a really good screen here. Now you have him set. Then what you want to do is you want to keep your right foot down as a pivot, and you take your left leg and spread it around this way, and then put your left hand out and start going to the basket, because this pocket pass is available right here. Bryce can throw it over to you here. You should be going right here. He throws it up high to you, and you get yourself a layup, or this guy comes over and you bounce past it to Jackson. So don't forget, out of high, you have to roll. B, I want you to watch yourself here on defense. So Josh is matched up with Caius right now, and we get the screen. When the screen happens, you got to come up and close this space more with Caius. The ball gets swung. You have to stay locked in off the ball. That's one of the things that you are struggling with. Now, screen is about to happen. You got to be up. So that way, when he comes off the screen, you're coming out right away. So that's one of the first things. But King gets over the screen and you get back. Okay. Josh and King switch over here. The ball gets swung. Josh, quit hugging. You should be coming over to the midline right now. Right now, you haven't moved at all. You should have been at the midline. So now we get a screen here. and Jackson switches. Josh is now moving a little bit to the midline, which is better. Now here, we're kind of relaxed again and kind of standing. Ball comes up top. Josh way to close the space. Ball gets swung. Right now, you're kind of lost for a second. Don't know where your man is. And you're lost. And you're not in help. And we get a layup, right? So there has to be talking on defense, communicating on defense, knowing who we got, being in a stance. Some people don't talk about the pass that leads to the actual potential assist. You have a person up here who's trying to guard you. You early up the ball to Bryce because nobody's guarding Bryce. Good pass. Now he gets to go and drive past this guy. He has to attack him right away, which he does, which makes him come up to stop him. Now it's Bryce and Jackson on a 2-on-1 break. There's only this person to worry about. And Bryce lobs the ball over to Jackson, and Jackson just misses the layup. But you made the first pass to pass the ball right away to Bryce so that way he could make the play. Good read. Good defense right here, Josh, to start. Ready to get in his space, making him work hard, being in his body, chest to chest right there, moving your feet. This is good activity on defense, and you're starting to set the tone for this possession. We get a screen here, and Bryce comes out and switches, and he closes the space. Here's what I'm talking about being engaged. So right now, Bryce looks pretty engaged. He needs to be over in the gap, but he can see the ball, and he can see his man as well. So we got to be locked in on defense like this is being in the stance and being engaged. King should close up this space, and Josh is here, matched up with this person. He should be on the block, and that's where he's standing right now because the ball is in the middle of the floor, and he is looking at the ball and still looking at his man. So he is in good defensive positioning here. Way to move with the ball there, B. But right now, you're losing sight of your man. So you got to make sure that you stay with him. Right now, you are completely turned, and you cannot see him at all. So make sure that you see your man at all times. Now, as we continue this actual possession, Josh close up that space faster. You're with him. He kind of gets past you a little bit. Jackson kind of stunts and then gets back. And then we kind of get this standing here, right? So we just need to be in a stance. Knees should be bent, one hand pointing at him, one hand pointing out the ball. Josh, you got to bring up your focus too because you're just kind of relaxed a little bit. You're just going through the motions. So you got to be in a stance, hands out and locked in. He drives right, and you do a good job of coming over here to help. And he just runs right into you. So you make this very simple and get the steal. Now we start the break, and we got two defenders back. These two right here. And we got Bryce and Josh. Bryce and Josh, you guys got to sprint the floor. Go all the way to the rim. Because when you guys run hard, like Josh, this guy passes you, and he was behind you. If you two sprint hard, these guys will have more ground to cover. Bryce should be about right here. Josh should be past him. So now B can easily pass it here to Bryce, and Bryce gets a layup. That simple. But because they're running alongside you, you guys are all even together. So now this makes everything here congested if the defense catches up. So this turnover is not on B. This turnover here is on kind of Bryce and Josh by not running the floor. Yes, he lofts up this pass and just throws it in the air. But we got to make sure that we sprint our lanes and get to the basket so we can stretch out the defense. Josh, I really feel like on this possession, you're going through the motions a little bit here. So they get the ball here and they do some split action here. You guys will learn about that later when you guys are older. So they run some split action. And good job here to come to this gap to come help B. And way to go after that ball. So good help. Then you get out to your man. You just got to close up that space better. Josh, I just feel like you're going through the motions defensively. It's like you're there, but you're not really engaged and focused. But I feel you're just kind of going through the motions. B, good job to cut him off here physically. Josh, you're trying to fix your shorts while the play is going on. That's not what we need to be doing. You're just not engaged. You're just standing there and yeah, you're rotated in the right spot. You don't even sprint the floor. Like that's a jog, Josh. This is unacceptable. You need to be sprinting this floor to grab this rebound if he misses the shot. And you don't sprint it and he gets a layup and you're barely crossing the actual three-point line. B, good shot. He just blocked you. That's okay. It happens. But we got to pick up our energy. So having your focus and giving effort right now, Josh, you have to pick that up and you got to play with a lot more urgency on defense. And Josh, this is how I know you're going through the motion. So he's coming down the court. You're supposed to come help and stop this ball now a little bit, or even be locked in and be engaged a little bit more. Bryce should be dropping down, guarding these two. And you're just going through the motions. Like, you mean you're just going to let this guy screen you that easily and not try to fight over to get in front? That's what I mean. You're not locked in, right? You're just like, I'm here, I'm there, semi-rotated, not engaged. You're not trying and focusing. So Josh has the ball. Josh recognizes that Caius is probably guarding King and B is wide open. So he swings the ball to you. Now Caius starts guarding you, B, and you start driving. Now, when you start driving, Caius leaves and goes to King. Now he starts guarding you, and then this guy rotates over. So you try to beat him. You have tight space, and you get the ball to Josh over those hands. Tough pass, but you get it through. Josh, I have to give you credit. You start driving, and you're going to see really quick that your man's going to come back to you. Then also B's man rotates over. This is a next level pass you make right here, because you rotate and drive just a little bit and see them already, and you pass the ball to B. That's why, B, you got to be ready for those passes from Josh. He's just going to see you sometimes. Great finish, Josh. Great pass. Okay, now we're going to talk about the midline. This is why I say, Josh, you're not engaged at all. You're just standing. So, Josh, you should be backing up below the ball in the gap, just in case he beats him right. And you're still high. That's why I said you're not locked in. Your man is all the way up here, and you're still standing at the three-point line, and he's driving this way. This is the basically imaginary midline. B, your man is over here. So you should be all the way over here standing on this midline. B should be right here in red, and you should be able to see your man, which is over here, and also see the ball. And when he drives to get beat, you would have to rotate over, as well as Jackson closing up the space. Josh, you should be standing here in blue. You have to be below him at all times. Now, when he drives left, the help isn't yours, but you still have to be able to drop down to be able to help cuts and stuff going this way. So you can't be this high. When this play completely breaks down and Caius is able to get around King, there's nobody there to help. Jackson does not close up the space. No one's standing here to contest. So he gets all the way to the rim and he gets a quality layup attempt. So we got to make sure that we rotate over to the midline. KB, this is where you got to recognize that you got to be shot ready. Right now at this moment, you should be thinking the ball may come to me. You could be running down here to even cut a little bit more. King draws the two, your defender and his, and he swings the ball back out to you. This is where you got to be shot ready. Even look at Josh. He's semi-shot ready. Knees are bent slightly, not enough, but his hands are kind of there for the ball. So since you know that ball's coming to you, now you get more shot ready. Step into your shot, good balance, good base, quality look. Good job there, but I want you to realize when you're open, especially one pass away, you got to be shot ready. This right here, Josh, is not a safe pass. You're looking around, making sure Caius isn't coming from behind. That's fine. This guy's coming. You got him. Remember, we talked about this. You got to beat him and then cut off his lane. That way he runs back into your back and then start going straight. There's no point of throwing this ball back to, I think, Bryce, which is here, because you pretty much basically get a backcourt almost. Why would you throw it backwards? Just keep going, or one, pull it back out and get high and have poise and get in the middle, right? So this really should have been a backcourt right here. You got to be mindful of that. B, you're right there. Josh, you're right here. We get a turnover right here. We don't have the ball. So B, you're about right here, and Josh is still all the way back. Josh, this has to be a sprint down the floor. B, this has to be a sprint down the floor. I want you guys to see how many guys get back into the play. I keep seeing everybody else's jersey except ours. So now we got 4 green jerseys down the court. And the only person who's back here is King because the ball was passed to him. Now Jackson just starts coming. They have all these guys inside, 4 players. And now B's just arriving and Josh is not even there. If you guys don't sprint the floor looking to get back into the play, that means you're not playing winning basketball. So that shot gets easily available there. Josh doesn't get back on defense. King is guarding 2 people. There's no possibility for him to guard a 1-on-4. We got to make sure that we sprint the floor and value. You run hard, you sprint the floor. I have to be honest with you guys. This is just terrible defense. That's why, Josh, you're comfortable right now, comfortable with the actual level of focus that you had from last season. This isn't good enough. You have to raise it. So both you guys are just kind of standing around, not engaged. Josh, you're not engaged right now. You should be responding to the gap. Hands should be out. He starts going your way. You're not even there in the gap. You're just running through the motions. How do you guys expect to win the game? We still just got more standing there, standing, not engaged, standing, not engaged. So part of being a really good defender is being prepared. Like, look how easily he just screens you and just moves you around and he gets this open look. Like, Josh, you got to lock in. B, you got to stop standing, be in a stance. But Josh, you are very inactive mentally in this game. Everything on defense is about possibilities. Josh, no one's stopping the ball. You should be sprinting here to stop to cut him off here. You don't do that. You allow him to get all the way to the basket, and then you jump from here. Why would he get that close when you had all this time to beat him to that spot and to cut him off? Then ball's available, they get the rebound. But B, we talk about closing up the space. You don't close up the space. You just look at them. Your hands are down. They're not active. So you're telling him and inviting him to a jump shot, and he gets a shot. Just off of you not closing up the space, having active hands, and being engaged. Now, Josh, coach is calling for you to get the ball, and you do. And this is what I mean about being physical on your drives. You do end up making a good play out of this. But he's riding alongside of you. This is where you got to use your arm bar, lean into him, bump into him to literally dislodge him. You're just driving wider and wider because you're not the one initiating the contact. Now, Jackson's man comes over to rotate, and you do make the pass to Jackson. Jackson is coming here to dive, and Jackson gets a quality look. So good job there. But why are you all the way over here? The basket is this way. You can make it toward the basket if you actually drive like this, and then you start bumping into him. You can make a beeline to the basket and get yourself an and one or get around him and still make that same pass to Jackson. Make sure that you get more physical on your drives, but good pass to Jackson. Now, B, this is better activity on defense with you closing up the space. So now you're up here on them. You're sliding your feet. You're closing up the space, reaching for the ball, being physical, sliding. That's the activity that we need to see. We just need to see more of that. Good take here, B. But I want you to aggressively go at him. He's standing right here. Don't cross over and go this way. You have straight to the basket. Just keep this simple. If you drive hard here and then also bump him when he comes on you, bump him and dislodge him and move him with your shoulder, you got a layup right here at the basket. You made it a little tougher by slowing up some and then driving his way. So you get some contact here from 13, but you allow him to recover. So when you have that break, make it a lot simpler. Go straight and then bump into the person when they come over to you. Nice rebound here, B. You get a good box out right down here. Need to get a little bit more physical on it, but you get the good box out. And you make the pass up to Josh. Josh, you got 24 on you. He can't guard you. Yes, 18 is back. There's nobody on this side of the floor. Attack him. What are you slowing up looking for everybody for? He cannot guard you. This is what we mean about that level of aggressiveness. Then you bring the ball high. And yes, Jackson is open. So at this time, yeah, pass to him. But Jackson should not be running out. He should realize he's open here. And you make the pass to him. But you're missing opportunities to attack the mismatch. Then, right after Jackson misses it, this is why I know you're not locked in. Like, you're sprinting the floor here, but you didn't come here to get your hands up and to cut him off. Like, you got to beat him to the spot. You're still comfortable running alongside him. Then he makes this pass, and your hands don't even come up. Like, you're not engaged in this game. Like, that's not a winning mentality. B, good help here out of New York. Way to come over and help deflect that ball. Josh, this is what I mean about that ball handling. You're letting him hem you up one-on-one. All this space. Barely falling on the floor, having to throw the pass up. Like, handle the ball. Be a better ball handler. And then B, right now, we have a split right here. If you can push this ball through and split, and then you beat these two right here, and then you get up and you get yourself a shot or a floater at the rim. So just push this ball through to this gap, and then go inside this way and go finish and go get fouled. That should be your bucket. Josh, way to make the pass out here to Jackson. He's wide open, but you got to handle that ball pressure better, son.